back to another episode of the Double or Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Johnny B, along with Dylan P over here. We are now in NFL Week 8 already. This is the pinnacle of sports. I was just saying this to Dylan. We got the World Series on, huge Dodgers-Yankees we'll get into later. We got NBA kicking off, a couple games last night, Knicks Celtics and Lakers Timberwolves, and then back in normal into the NFL. Pretty decent week last week. We got, in our opinion, a little screwed on a couple of lines again, of course, but overall I thought we did pretty good. You know, I was 2-3 in the best bets. One that I was so upset about was the 49ers not winning the first half against the Chiefs. Debo goes out with pneumonia in the in the beginning of the game, and then Brandon Ayuk tears his ACL in the first half. It's just, that's just kind of the way things go.
Unfortunate. Yeah. Unfortunate.
So overall, not a bad week. I think I was 7-9 or 6-10. I'll have to double check the record, but do you know what you went overall?
I think I was one game under 500.
I was going to say, I remember you were good going into Monday.
Game.
And then we both went 1-1 Monday night because we took both overs Monday night.
Yeah.
And obviously the Ravens flew over.
I remember saying that the Raiders fucked me with that field goal because I remember I was talking to Shane and I was like, they just kicked the field goal? I couldn't understand why they kicked the field goal.
It was, you know what? I was talking about this with Greg, and, that was one of the ones that I was really bitter about. It was, you're down 8, you're on the 5-yard line. They had first and goal from the 5. It's fourth and goal from the 5. You're down 8 with 2 minutes left. You still have 3 timeouts. Why are you kicking a field goal? You need to score a touchdown anyway.
Yeah, that I didn't make sense.
So I saw that making the rounds. Like, you know what? Antonio Pierce had the Raiders plus 7. I mean, there was no reason to kick the field goal there. When you need to score a touchdown anyway, even if you don't get it there, you have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. And do you really think the Rams are going to go crazy inside their own 5 trying to make some plays happen? No, they're going to just try to get you to burn your timeouts and hold you to try to make but he's an awful coach. This is multiple times this year where he's just made boneheaded decisions in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was strange. I mean, I guess they got the ball back, right, with a chance to go down and win. So I couldn't hate on it that much, but I still thought it was pretty dumb in the moment. But
well, they got the ball back in their own territory and no timeouts.
No, I get it. That was a fluky one, which I thought I was on the right side of, but for the most part, I mean,
the Packers won. The Packers and Texans killed me because
2-point conversion.
We needed a touchdown. All we needed was a touchdown left to cover, and it was still the third quarter, and just nobody scored.
Yeah, nobody
after
scored.
That. And
not to mention they missed the 2-point conversion, and that 2-point conversion puts us at the over, right? It's 47.5 and it ended 46.
Yeah.
And CJ Stroud, I think they went for 2 at one point and they missed.
I was still very confused, and this is another, maybe I'm just thinking about the lines too much, is that the Texans were fine with kicking a field goal with over a minute left and the Packers still having a timeout. So they were fine just running the ball 3 straight times to get the Packers to burn their timeout. They kicked the field goal, went up 1. And still gave Jordan Love and the Packers a minute and 30 or 40 seconds to go down the field to get a field goal to win the game.
Yeah.
I mean, in today's NFL, that's too much time. You can't give someone a little under 2 minutes, especially when these guys are getting the ball at the 30 now. They need to get 2 first downs to be in field goal range.
Yeah.
So if he goes for a touchdown there, then, he had all the time in the world to try to score and finish the game, and instead they ran 3 straight run plays.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. Because CJ is prime time, man. Like when it comes down to the end of these games, he had a couple of great plays on that final drive and put him in a position to win the game. And then Jordan Love obviously drove downfield and had a great drive and won the game. But I thought that game was going to be a dead nut over, and it started slow. It started slow, and I was like, and then it picked up real quick, and then it just died out.
Well, what's funny is and you talked about your Jordan Love stuff is they were driving down the field in the first possession, instantly throws an awful pick. And then the Texans return it all the way to the 20. I'm like, this is exactly what we said. It was like, you know what, interceptions lead to scores on the other end, and then Texans first. They've been having a hard time kind of like converting into touchdowns, but
whatever. We got screwed a little bit on that game, but I mean that's just the way it goes when you take these over unders. They're pretty spot on with where they put these numbers.
They are where they are for a reason.
Yeah,
those little ones where it's 47.5. A lot of times,
those two games stuck out to me because I knew it was the 2-point conversion missed away from hitting the over there, and then it was
the
a random Raiders field goal that made really no sense. That crushed us there. But other than that, I think I was only one game under 500.
Yeah, so a good week.
It wasn't bad.
And we got another another good week upcoming, a great Thursday night game. We have the Vikings at the LA Rams. Over under is 48. The spread is the Rams are +3 at home. Cooper Kupp is back this week.
Cooper Kupp is back as I keep seeing all the rumors that he's going to the Steelers, right?
Every time there's a wide receiver trade rumor, the Steelers are involved.
And
they never end up going there.
It's true. It's true. I like Russell Wilson at the helm now, though. I mean, I think that would be a good pickup for them. I mean, pick up some steam coming off a big win.
Yeah.
But, either way, I like the Rams. I've been kind of riding with the Rams a lot. And this is kind of the moment where, like, you should probably ride with the Rams. I feel like getting points at home.
Yeah.
I know, and the Vikings fought tooth and nail till, like, the final second. So it's always hard to kind of come back after like
a close division game.
Yeah, close division game, like down to the wire, huge scoring game, back and forth, losing a heartbreaker. I feel like it's kind of hard to come back and fire off again like that. But you know what? I have a lot of faith in Darnold and that offense, and the Rams I know they're really good and they have a lot of potential, but it just feels like they haven't been able to put it together all that much this season. So I'm going to roll with the Vikings here. I'm going to roll with the Vikings -3. I think probably the smarter play. I'm sure all the sharps after all these home underdogs not covering and stuff, I'm sure they're all going to roll with the Rams here. I don't really know. But I'm going to take the Vikings -3 here. I have a lot of faith in that offense to put up a lot of points, and I don't necessarily I like the Rams, but I don't necessarily know that they can keep up at the same pace that the Vikings can with scoring points.
Wow. I'm going to go with the Rams. I thought you were going to be right there with me.
I'm a big Rams guy. I like Stafford. I like McVay. I like the offense. I love that Cooper Kupp's back now. But I don't know. It seems like it's just kind of everything's clicking for the Vikings. I feel like that was a heartbreaking loss. They're probably not happy about it. But now they got their one loss out of the way. Like they got this whole, like the Vikings are going to go undefeated out of the way.
All the pressure's off.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The pressure's off. And now they can kind of just play football. And I think that might play in their favor this week. So I'm going to roll with the Vikings.
Yeah, I'll go with the Rams this week. I feel like getting Cooper Kupp back is just such a big thing for them. They just had no one to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Like it's just...
But is he really back though? Like, I mean,
he could have played last week. I think they kept him out Sunday because they knew they had a short week this week.
Yeah.
And they were playing the Raiders. I feel like they were confident they could beat the Raiders without Cooper Kupp, and it gave them an extra 4 or 5 days rest. If I can get a pissed off Cooper Kupp with all these trade rumors, then he said today that he's going to go out and try to be the best wide receiver he can be for the LA Rams, and that's all he can be. And I got to love that attitude right there. So I'll take the 3 points. Home team, like you said, Vikings coming off of a division battle, and just to lose at the end in a game where our boy Dan Campbell was just trying to give the win to the Vikings.
I know. so true. But dude, they're an offensive juggernaut, dude. Holy smokes!
I know. I don't know if the Rams defense could stop them. I'm just hoping this Rams offense.
No. I'm saying the Lions. Like, the Lions are so good on offense. They overcome Dan Campbell's stupidity.
They spotted the Vikings 10 points, and still won.
I don't know if there's a number big enough that they could be laying against some of these middle of the road teams.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll go into the 1:00 slate. No lending game this week, thank God. We have the Baltimore Ravens at the Cleveland Browns. We have Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback this week.
Famous Jameis, baby.
The spread is the Browns +9.5 at home, over under 44.5.
Oh man, I love Jameis Winston. I mean, I had the MVP bet on him the year he put Rodgers on the bench in week 1, preseason.
He had 14 touchdowns. And
I remember calling
like
Justin like, dude, are you ready to pay me $125,000? Because Jameis is winning the MVP. Like, I love Jameis Winston, and I think he's a gunslinger. But I just think the Cleveland Browns are just lost right now. I don't know that. I know Jameis is an upgrade at quarterback for sure. For sure. But the Ravens are on one right now.
No
man.
Marlon Humphrey this week for the Ravens.
I'm not really betting the Ravens because of their defense. You know, I mean, like I just think Lamar and Derrick Henry are on just an unstoppable path right now. Where good luck even competing with them if you're not gonna go out there and score 30 points. You know,
yeah,
I mean, like if your offense can't go out and score 24 to 30 points, like you're chalk it up as a loss because they're
against Tampa Bay. They were in cruise control after the third quarter.
Yeah, like I'm gonna roll with the Ravens here. I know it's a big number, and I know Jameis Winston has the potential to boost the team up a little bit, and maybe they'll play pretty well. And I'd like to see it. I like Jameis, so I'd like to see it. But I'm gonna roll with the Vikings here. They're just too hot.
I'm gonna go with the over 44.5. I know the Browns haven't hit over 20 points this year yet. I think Jameis Winston will at least score a decent amount. He gives the team a better chance than what Deshaun did. And I think the Ravens could easily score 30 plus on their own. I mean, it doesn't matter who they're playing, doesn't matter the defense. It just they score in the high 30s every week.
I think that their offense is good for 30 and Jameis is good for a few mistakes.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean? So it's like I definitely like the over there for sure, but
44.5 seems a little low. Like if Deshaun was still at quarterback, I totally understand it, but this could be an unhinged Jameis moment where he's just throwing the ball over the field, and the Ravens might win 45-0 maybe, but he might be able to score some points.
Over would still hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll take the Ravens.
All right, we have the Tennessee Titans at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are minus 10.5, over under 44.5. Titans just got rid of DeAndre Hopkins this week to the Kansas City Chiefs, so how does that affect? I don't think you were going to take the Titans.
No, I wasn't going to take the Titans. I mean, the Lions just seem like they're just on one right now. I mean, it seems like you could kind of just blindly bet the over in every game they play.
I know.
So, I mean, the over, I definitely don't hate the over here, but I do think the Titans defense is pretty good. It hasn't been shown because of how bad the offense has been, but I do think the Titans defense is pretty good. Otherwise, I would have probably just let the over fly here, but I just think there's no chance they can keep up with the Lions. No chance. I mean, you could blink your eye and this game could be 21-0. You know? I mean, you could blink your eye. Like, I mean, they turn on a switch and it's just, I mean, they can score 21 to 24 points in a quarter, dude. I mean,
no Jameson Williams this week.
I know he's got the 2-game suspension, right? I don't really care. I think the Lions are just too high powered for the Titans, man. I mean, the Titans, they'd have to play absolutely perfect to even stay in it, you know? And I just don't think they're going to do that. So give me the Lions minus the 10.5.
I'm going to take the Lions minus 10.5 too, in a perfect 3-game 10-point teaser spot here. I know as square as that sounds, they're not going to lose to the Titans.
No,
not at home.
No,
I don't know where, because the Titans also traded, I think, a linebacker today as well. Not sure on his name, but another trade for them. What does it say to the team? I think you get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, you get rid of a defensive player, you're almost like saying we're kind of throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
We're just consuming picks, trying not get embarrassed all the way through. But I think the players know what's going on. You get rid of your best wide receiver, you know, it's...
I feel bad for them because I do feel like they are like a quarterback away from being like...
Unbelievable, yeah.
No, I wouldn't go as far as say unbelievable. I think they're a quarterback away from like staying in every football game, you know? Like their defense is really good. They have a lot of weapons.
They have a good running back,
but they just have no answer at quarterback. I mean, you know, Mason Rudolph's an upgrade from Will Levis, but like he's still nothing special. So I think the Lions roll here.
I think like you're right. Like it takes a team to keep up with the Lions. You got to score 24 points, and I just don't think they can do that.
No, I don't think so either.
But that's why the only reason I didn't take the over is I don't know if the Titans can do that.
No, I don't know if the Titans can do it, but I do have a little bit of confidence that the Titans can slow down the Lions just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, whereas like the Lions probably won't get there on their own. I know that's not saying much, but like, it's like some of these games you feel like the Lions could hit the number on their own. And this is one of those games where I wouldn't be shocked if the Lions only scored like 24, 28 points, and just won like 28-10, like it's just one of those things. So I'm not going to go too crazy with the over 24-10. I don't know what the over under is, 44
and a half.
Yeah, so it's like 24-10 final. I could see that. 28-10 final. I could see that. So I'm just going to roll with the fact that there's no way the Lions are not going to roll here. So
perfect. Love it. We got a division game next. The Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. Texans -5, over under 46.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson is just didn't look good, man. I mean, talk about just an ugly win against Miami. That was just not – it was not the kind of win that makes you feel confident moving forward. It's the kind of win where it's borderline fake,
Yeah.
And I think that the Texans are really, really, really good all around. I don't think that they're top 2 or 3 in anything, but I think they're basically top, 5 or 6 in everything. I mean, so I'm just gonna lay the 5 here. I don't think the Colts are any good. I don't think they're any good defensively. Who knows what Jonathan Taylor's health situation looks like? I mean, the guy just doesn't really play football that much. And Anthony Richardson is a downgrade from Joe Flacco. So it just feels like nothing's really going that right for the Colts right now, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. So give me the way better football team, only laying 5.
Yeah, I have to be right there with you. I mean, this team, the Colts, have showed me when Richardson is at quarterback, they just have the hard time moving the football. I don't know if it's just offensive scheme or, everyone is just stacking the box and saying, hey, we dare you to throw it, and he can't throw it. And I know he came out with an asinine statement last week saying he felt it was harder to play in college than it is in the NFL. I mean, if you're going to make a statement like that, like, you have to at least be producing some sort of numbers in the NFL.
Yeah,
To go out there and score 13 points against the Miami Dolphins, who weren't even, I feel like they weren't even trying until Tua gets back. But it's like,
I think he was probably more or less talking from like a blocking perspective, the players around him perspective. It's like once you get to that level, like his talent level didn't change at all, but like all of his players that he's playing with have gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of taken out of context, but I get it. It's a cocky statement to make, and you can't make it and then play like he's playing. So I get it. I do get it, but I also understood where he was coming from, because I do believe that he can be really good. But at this point, I mean, he's nothing short of a knockoff Cam Newton. So until he proves otherwise, it's kind of where he sits. Like, he's got all the potential in the world, but is he going to tap into it? I have no idea.
I like that the Texans just lost last week, and so I'll be taking a -5 as well.
Yeah.
Would have felt a little hesitant if they beat Green Bay in Green Bay, but coming off a loss, it's a good bounce back spot. I feel like, I know it's a division game, but -5 seems like a
I'm on the favorite train this week, baby.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's crazy because I feel like the favorites have been killing it. So
I know we're gonna wind up getting, this is gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah. All right, next game we have the Green Bay Packers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Green Bay is -4 on the road, over under 48.5.
Yeah, this is a weird one because I don't really have any clue where I stand with the Jaguars anymore. Hated them at first, then right before the season started, bought into this idea that they were going to be good. Then they played like shit. Finally kind of got off their train a little bit. Then they started playing good. So like, I just can't get on the right side of the Jaguars right now. I'm not a Jordan Love guy. He did play really good last week when it counted, which is something he hasn't done a whole lot of outside of the playoff run last year, obviously. But like, it felt like a lot of the games last year when it came down to the wire, he never really played that well. Yeah. And now he kind of proved that he can do that against another guy who's proven that he's done it a ton. CJ Stroud, I mean, put his team in a position to win almost every time he's had an opportunity to. So this is a really, really hard one. I think the Packers are a better football team, but I'm going to go with the hungry dog runs faster. I'm gonna go with the 4 points at home, and I'm gonna take my first dog of the week here. Might be a bloodbath. I could see the Green Bay blowing them out. So all the Packers fans who are gonna fry me in the comments. I do think the Packers have the ability to blow the Jaguars out. Like that's not.
Yeah.
I'm not like delusional, but I'm just gonna roll with the fact that Trevor Lawrence, Doug Peterson, Doug Peterson especially, because they're already paying Trevor
Coaching
Lawrence,
for their life.
yeah, I mean, Doug Peterson needs this game. I mean, like, he's getting fired if they lose this game, probably.
He's probably getting fired anyway.
But if they turn it around from this point on, I mean, he's still alive right now. In this moment, he's still alive. So, especially with the Colts aren't playing that wonderful.
The Texans just lost again.
Yeah, so like
team that they're
Jaguars need this game. You're going to give me 4 points with them at home. I don't love the pick. I'm probably going to stay far away from the game from a gambling perspective, but for the sake of the podcast, give me the Jags +4 at home.
I'm going to go Green Bay -4. I was going to lean that or the over, but I just, what scares me is the back-to-back week in London, the travel on Sunday, catching back up, not being home for over probably close to 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
I feel like all that stuff has like a tendency to catch up with them.
Yeah.
I don't know. They played the Patriots, who obviously weren't a great team, and we picked the Patriots. And Patriots were up.
Under.
You picked the under in that one?
Yeah, lost anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots started off 10-0. I'm like, oh, this looks like a great play. And then, punt return for a touchdown and, rookie quarterback over there, and things just start going the Jaguars' way. Their defense is just so bad. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I know they looked all right versus the Patriots, but Green Bay's offense can just score on anyone. So I just have a hard time believing that they're going to be able to keep up with the offense of Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I just think the Jags are in a weird spot, right? Like,
they're playing for their life.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of teams that like have nothing to play for because they kind of already know they suck. And then you have teams like very few teams like in that middle, like the Jaguars, the Bengals, like who know they should be pretty good and they're still fighting. Like it's not like these guys are giving up. Like the Panthers are giving up. Like you've seen the Raiders give up. Like I don't think the Jaguars are going to give up. I think they're going to fight tooth and nail for every fucking play. So I'm just going to hope that they play super fucking hard, stay in the game, and even if they lose by a field goal, I'll take the 4.
I'm just hoping Green Bay stays hungry. I mean, they see what Detroit's doing. They see what Minnesota's doing.
Yeah.
They know they can't celebrate victories and have a bad week because they're looking at the schedule and they're probably saying, hey, the Lions play Tennessee this week. That's probably a win for them. We have to go and win this week.
You're not wrong. I mean, they might need it as bad as the Jags do from a record perspective.
I see it for both perspectives. So it's like it's tough. And it's like you said, it's a game that I'm staying away from. But if I'm going to
both teams are going to play super fucking hard.
Yeah. I'll take the Packers -4.
Okay.
All right, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Miami Dolphins. Cardinals are +3.5. Over under 45.5. Tua should be back this week. It hasn't been 100% confirmed, but he practiced today, and this line is saying that Tua is back. So how back is he?
Yeah, I mean they need him. They need him. I mean it's obviously shown. I gave Tua a lot of hate and said that basically like anybody could go in there and kind of do what they need to do with that offense and those weapons, and it just hasn't been the case. I really did think Tyler Huntley was going to play good, and he hasn't. So it's shifted my perspective on Tua and made me think he's probably a little bit better than I gave him credit for.
Him a hell of a lot more than I did.
It gives him like a lot, and I think he's got a lot to prove. Like I think a lot of people are telling him he should retire. Oh, you should never play again. So I think he's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. I don't know if he's going to play. If he does play, I do think Miami's extremely dangerous if he plays. And I think that Kyler Murray is my guy. You know that. I mean, I love Kyler Murray, and I think that the Cardinals can score too, but they've kind of played a little bit weird, What's the over-under?
45.5.
You know what? I'm gonna roll over here. I'm gonna roll over 45.5. I'm gonna bank on the fact that Tua comes back. Miami gets a spark. They put up a lot of points, and the Cardinals are coming off a win. They have a little bit more confidence in them now. I think Kyler's kind of playing pretty well. So give me the over 45.5. I don't really love either side. So, but I do like both offenses. So give me the over.
I'm so mad because yesterday this spread was 3. And it was like, I was going to be my lock of the week was Miami -3. So I will take the Dolphins -3.5. I think this will be a rejuvenated team, rally around their quarterback saying, all right, you know what? This is our playoff push starting right now.
Yeah.
The whole team rallies around him. I love that spot. Cardinals coming off a huge Monday night win. Now traveling for a Sunday afternoon and 1 day less of rest. And I think Tua's been probably healthy, ready to go for the last week, but he was just following whatever protocol nonsense they put out there for him.
Good point.
It's going to be – I think it's going to be scary to see. You're going to see a whole different offense this week than what we've seen from the Dolphins the last couple weeks. So give me the Dolphins -3.5. I like that one.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have our New York Jets at the New England Patriots.
Oh, God.
Jets -7 on the road, over under 41.
Oof. Oof.
This is tough, man.
Yeah, it's tough because, oh, man, the Jets, talk about a team that just cannot get on the same page as each other from a receiver to quarterback perspective, coaching, play calling. Nobody's on the same page.
No.
Nobody. I mean, right when fucking you finally see a little bit of a spark and you see Aaron Rodgers pump fake, draw the cornerback in and launch that ball in a perfect location, bounces right off Garrett Wilson's chest plate into the other team's hands for a pick. And it's just like,
down to the
talk about a fucking team that either Aaron Rodgers can't make a throw, and then when he finally gets it together and makes a throw, nobody can make a catch. It's like, holy fuck, man, this team cannot get it together.
More Jets?
Like, I mean, they are jetting to an all-time high. Like, that is...
You know,
there's
Rodgers,
no way I can lay 7 with the New York Jets. I want the Jets to win, and maybe they blow out the Patriots.
You know, Rodgers in his head, because he's like kind of a loon, is like, wow, this is what it means. Like when they say the Jets are going to jet. So
yeah.
This is just, it's not my fault. It's just the Jets are going to jet.
I mean, I love Devontae Adams going there. I'm stuck with that poison, the Jets poison of just no matter how bad things go, I just think they're going to figure it out. Well, I can't take a -7. I can't. Drake May did not look bad last week.
No.
He looked actually pretty good. 7 points, division game. I can't take the Jets here. I'm sorry. The Jets just have shown me nothing that shows me that they're a team that should be laying 7 to anybody in football. So give me the Patriots +7.
All right, I like that. I mean, no big injuries on either side going into this game. I saw Demario Douglas last week. Right before the game, he got motion sickness or something, so that he had to leave the game early. I don't know if that affected their game with Jaguars, but obviously didn't perform that well. But they should be back this week. I don't know. I'll take the over 41. The Jets defense has not been good at all. They can't stop the run. They haven't been able to stop the pass. I don't know. Sauce Gardner is afraid to tackle now. I think he's been exposed a little bit. We're getting a little handsy on these receivers. Now the calls are being thrown. It's like
he's been doing that for a while too.
Yeah, now the flags are starting to come out.
The flags are starting to come out.
It's just, I think that I know Hassan Reddick's coming back. I have no idea what role he's going to play this week. He said he's been practicing. Has he really? What has he been doing? Who knows?
He's been making Instagram videos probably.
Yeah, like, in his hour workout a day that everyone else does in the world. It's, the Patriots offense isn't terrible. I think they can move the ball. I think they can score some points. I think the Jets have a big bounce back week, but 7's too much. So.
Yeah, dude, this is a game you want. I'm going to be rooting for the Jets, man. I'm going to be rooting for the Jets. I want to see the Jets get a win here, but
I'll take over 41. I think even that number may be a little high, but if I'm not going to take the Patriots. I'm not going to take the Jets laying a touchdown against anyone right now, and the 41 seems
I don't like the over/under. I don't like either side. I mean, I cannot lay 7 points with the New York Jets right now. So I just can't do it.
I know.
I can't do it.
It kills the fandom inside of me. It's like I love them, but it's like they shouldn't be 7-point favorites against the Raiders right now.
No, they shouldn't be 7-point favorites against the Panthers. I mean maybe, but they're terrible.
Cool stat is Davante Adams lost to the Steelers twice in 1 week.
I know, that's fucking wild. Yeah, even they weren't on the same page. I mean, the first throw to the game. I mean, Davante Adams full body dive, stretching all the way out, and barely got his hands on the ball.
Rodgers went on McAfee this week, and that was the only sports talk I listened to really this week, and he talked about, well, it just mistakes. Everyone was flat, and all it takes is one game to build the snowball effect. I remember, in Green Bay, we started off, same thing, and that's when I came out, told everyone relax, and then we rattled off 8 straight wins. Well, that was when you were in your, that was when you were 35 and not 40. So I mean, it's just a huge difference. Aaron Rodgers, you have to make better choices. I mean, before the half, he threw an awful.
That changed the game.
That changed the game.
It changed the game. That was terrible.
An awful decision on his part.
Terrible.
He is missing wide receivers that are just wide open. Like, he is opting for the way more difficult pass to showcase his arm in these primetime spots than just taking the Zach Conklin pass for 7 yards or the Breece Hall check down. It's like, take a page out of Tom Brady's book when he turned 40. Take the check down, take the yards, move down the field. It's simple.
And then even that,
they're running an offense from the Stone Age. I don't understand it. It's like, get some movement in the offense, move people around, and just take the short yard gains all these other offenses are doing. I don't know what is up with the Jets.
I mean, you got the head coach trying to throw challenge flags on plays that shouldn't be challenged, and he's dropping the challenge flag, and that's the only reason the Jets score a touch. I mean, they look terrible. So
it's the bad news bears. It's
yeah,
the Jets
I mean, holy fuck, man. I mean, hey, maybe Aaron Rodgers turns around and maybe he proves everybody wrong and goes off and does what you said, and he rattles off the 8 wins, and maybe they're in the playoffs. But right now, not looking like that.
Oh, man, this is a game I'm super excited to watch this week. Philadelphia Eagles at the Cincinnati Bengals. Right now, the Eagles are plus 1.5. Over under 47.5.
Bengals minus 1.5. Bengals minus 1.5, man. Yeah, I know they beat the Giants and they beat them up pretty good, but I guess the Giants were playing a lot better than people expected, and their defense did look pretty good up until last week. So everyone's probably riding this Eagles high right now, but and everyone thinks they're the better team, and overall they probably are the better team overall. But Jalen Hurts is just not that good. Like, it's just the truth at this point. He's just not that good. Like, he holds the team back, and I think that Joe Burrow is going to go out and score a lot of points, and I don't really think they're going to have too much of a problem covering in this game. So give me the Bengals at home only laying a point. Or what is it, 1.5?
1.5.
Yeah, laying 1.5 points. I mean, Bengals at home, they need it way more than the Eagles do. So just give me the better offense at home. I don't really think I don't think anybody's going to stop Jamar Chase. I don't think anybody's going to stop T. Higgins. I think the Bengals are going to hang a lot of points here.
I think the Bengals defense has looked so much better in the last couple of weeks. So I'll take the Bengals with you, minus 1.5. The spread opened up at Eagles plus 2.5 or plus 3, and right there, you know what? Maybe I would have leaned. It means everyone's been betting the Eagles down now, and I think it's come full circle to where now I think the Bengals are probably the better bet here. You're at home. The team needs it. Philly just got off a division game, which they blew out the Giants, so they're riding this high now, and Saquon looks unstoppable. But these are the games that, I know it sounds stupid to say, that Joe Burrow just comes to play for. They're at home. Hurts has not been playing well.
Joe Burrow's come to play for every week, dude. Joe Burrow, he's been phenomenal.
There's not a defense that's been able to stop him.
No, he's been phenomenal.
What makes me think that the Eagles are going to stop him?
No, they're not. They're not. I mean, the Giants actually held them.
Giants played unbelievable.
Yeah, they did.
They played unbelievable.
like, okay, so you're taking one game, but like every other game, Joe Burrow's lit the world on fire, man. And I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon.
No.
And I could see them losing, but if they lose, it's going to be in a high flying football game. So maybe lean over, but I'm going to take the Bengals laying the 1.5. It's just not enough.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Yeah, give us the Bengals. Next game that we have, kind of a crappy one. The New Orleans Saints at the LA Chargers. Chargers are -7. Over under 40.5.
Who's playing for the Saints? Because we didn't know that last week and looked like fucking bozos.
I think it's the same thing. I don't think Olave's playing. Raheem Shaheed is done. I think Kamara is still playing, obviously, and Spencer Rattler. But, I mean...
I felt bad for Spencer Rattler. I don't think Spencer Rattler is a bad quarterback. I think he's got good arm talent. I think he's pretty talented overall.
I don't think there's a viewer
He's running for his life.
I don't think we have a viewer that could name a wide receiver right now going for the Saints.
Yeah, Bub Means.
Bub Means, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I get
Shout
it.
out to AJ picking him up.
Did he?
Week. Yeah, he picked him up, started him. He said it didn't go the way I thought it was.
Yeah, no. I mean, I felt bad for Spencer Rattler. The kid was running for his life.
Yeah.
He was making a couple of good throws. I mean, there was tons of. I think there was like four to five drop passes. He got sacked like 6 times. He got hit like 14 times. Like, what's the kid supposed to do? He's got nobody.
Yeah,
I don't think if that doesn't change, if he doesn't get his weapons back, and the offensive line is gonna fold like they folded last week, and that's how they're gonna look overall, then give me the Chargers -7. I think Justin Herbert has played well. They were playing really good. I know everybody's disappointed that they lost on Monday to the Cardinals, but overall, I think it was a tight game. Came down to the wire, game-winning field goal. I think they're well equipped to go in and beat the Saints.
I'm going to go under 40.5. It's another low one, but the Chargers defense against the Cardinals still looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think this is a game they'll be even more woken up for. I'd be shocked if the Saints, with their offensive production, would put up 7 to 10 points. I'd be utterly, shocked. And the Saints defense has to show up eventually. I mean, they were like a top 5, top 10 defense last year. They haven't looked good. If they want to help out Rattler in any way, shape, or form, this is a game that you have to show up for. The Chargers offensive players just aren't good. Watching them against the Cardinals only put up 12 points was scary, because the Cardinals defense is not good either. But I could see, in all honesty, I could see them winning like a 14-3 game. But
yeah, no,
I could look so dumb. I could look so dumb coming on here and say, give me the under 40.5, and somehow, some way, Rattler throws 2 pick sixes and it flies over, and Herbert looks like the man.
I like the over. I like the under there. I mean, I always get scared off the unders when the number is like 40 or below. But yeah, I mean, it's a good pick. I have no faith that the Saints supporting cast, along with a rookie quarterback who's got zero help. I mean, it all kind of points to the under, I guess, but I could also see it being a blowout. So
these those games
get really weird really quick. So I'm just more confident that they can keep the number above 7. So I'm gonna roll with the Chargers laying 7.
I like it. So we have the Falcons division game at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Falcons are -2.5. Over under 45.5. Tampa Bay is missing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Yeah, that's a tough mountain to climb, man. Because they with those 2 guys in, I mean, they go from top 3, top 4 offense in all football to probably below middle of the pack. Those are 2 marquee guys. I mean, I know Baker's a gamer and he's going to still go out there and do everything he can to keep putting up points, but
I feel bad for him.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Falcons here. Falcons off of a surprising loss.
Yeah.
Kind of got beat up a little bit, so I'm sure everybody's a little bit low on the Falcons now, because if the Falcons would have went out and handled business, I think this spread would be a lot bigger. I think they're the same team.
Yeah,
so
they got beat up bad.
Yeah, they got beat up by a Seahawks team that kind of came alive and came back to
almost like a do or die game for Seattle, right? It's came off 2 bad losses. Falcons came off 2 big wins.
I liked the Falcons going into that game, so I'm not saying that was the wrong pick. I liked the Falcons, but I almost liked that the Falcons lost, because now, even with the 2 top guys, they're still not even laying a field goal. And I think without those two guys, I think with those two guys, it's still a pretty much a dogfight. And now you're going to take the two best players away from one team. I'm still not laying a field goal with the other. Give me the -2.5 in the Falcons.
I'll take the Falcons -2.5 too. I know they say like receivers, like first run, they're only worth like a point at most.
Well, look at the Saints.
But yeah, and here's like my whole thing with that. Like, yeah, maybe one wide receiver is worth the point if you still have your second, but you don't have your one or two. And they're both Pro Bowl wide receivers. So who are you throwing the ball to? They're Sterling Shepard is going to be their number one wide receiver this week.
Yeah, Cade Otton played good.
Cade Otton, unbelievable. If he's still a free agent in any one of your free agent leagues, which he was in one that you and I are in, and I picked him up already. Thank God I went through on waivers. That's going to be a big play. Bucky Irving, obviously, and Rachaad White's probably going to have to get into the mix.
He scored 2 touchdowns last week.
Just based off the fact that they don't really have anyone to throw to.
Yeah,
They're going to have to do some weird stuff. But like you said, I like the fact that the Falcons lost last week.
Yeah, me too.
Because they really need this game.
Yeah.
And now that it's in a under a field goal, I like it even more.
Kirk Cousins, Mr. Underrated.
There we go. It is a 1 p.m. game, so it's right in his comfort zone. So, we'll both take the Falcons -2.5. Going into the next game, we have the Buffalo Bills at the Seattle Seahawks. Buffalo is -3, over under 46.5.
Oof. I'm gonna go. I want to go over. I want to go over.
DK Metcalf questionable. Don't know.
I don't think he's gonna play, man.
I would. It's just I know they need this game, but it's like
give me the Bills -3. Give me the Bills -3. I feel like you can never really get a good read on the Bills, and whenever you feel like you can't get a good read on the Bills, they just blow somebody out. So
they beat up on the Titans last week.
Yeah, no, I know, but they
first half
half looked rough. Yeah, I mean they went in, they were losing at half.
Yeah,
they were losing at half, and I think the Seahawks are riding the high of that big win last week. I think DK's beat up. I think a lot of players on the Seahawks are beat up. Maybe not like an actual official injury, but
it seems like Kenneth Walker is a game time decision every single week.
Yeah,
for some odd
give me
reason.
the Bills -3. I think the Bills could roll here. I could see it being a dogfight, and the overs is enticing because I do think both teams can score points, and I do think Geno's played pretty well. But give me the Bills -3.
I'm going to go with the over, 46.5.
Yeah.
That gets me below that 47 mark. I think both offenses are high power, and I think both defenses kind of suck,
Yeah.
So even if DK doesn't play, which it says week to week, and they're confident, then at this point, then it's a good time to get the Bills, because once he's released that he's out, this line is going to probably go to Bills -3.5.
Even if he plays, I think he's a lot more hurt than he's leading on.
Oh, me too.
I think he's a huge piece to their offense. I think the team is kind of just banged up a lot, so I'm going to roll with the Bills -3. I just think the Bills have the ability to beat the shit out of anybody they play, so hopefully that's this week.
I just love Geno Smith, and hopefully he gets me some points this week. Oh, man. We have next we have the Bears at the Commanders. Battle of the rookies, maybe. The Bears right now are -2.5, over under 43.5. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is playing. Dan Quinn said it is week to week. We'll see how he goes during practice. That's when we'll assess him. He didn't play today as of Wednesday, didn't practice. His mom tweeted that everything was fine, which just means it's probably just bruise. He's gonna have to play through discomfort. That's basically what it's gonna be, which
kills me because I needed him to play versus Carolina because it just locks in every preseason prop. I mean, he's gonna hit him, but the touchdowns would have been nice to get because the Panthers are just a team you just beat the shit out of.
So Dylan and I both have Jaden Daniels over 3,100 passing yards for the year, and
over rushing yards, 525 and a half.
Passing touchdowns.
Touchdowns,
yeah. And then I have Terry McLaurin over 900 receiving yards. Luckily, he got 98 last week still, so that's looking good. But, this last week against the Panthers defense, I was like, he's throwing for 275.
Yeah, I know.
He's throwing 3 touchdowns.
The first play of the game, he ran for 50 yards, 46 yards. So, yeah, this is a tough one. Jaden Daniels plays. I'm obviously rolling with my guy. I know the Bears fans will attack the shit out of me in the comments because they do every week.
Yes, they do.
And their defense is very good, and maybe they can hold the Commanders to a reasonable number. But, yeah, I'm just – if it's Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams, I got to roll with my guy. You know, I mean, I said before the season he was better than him. I said he was going to play better than him. He has played better than him. I know he's banged up, but – welcome to the NFL. You can't be built like a stick. You can't be built like a stick figure and friggin', you know, and think that these things are gonna happen. You know what I mean? He's got look at Lamar. He had to put on all that weight because he realized he can't run around like a toothpick and take all these hits. So you live and you learn. As long as it wasn't a major injury, I think he's going to have to in the offseason put on some weight or something because he can't be running around the way he runs around.
Let's be honest, he was gambling. And everyone said it. How many weeks can he go without it before he takes a hit? That's like, you can't do that in this league.
Dude, did you see some of the college? I saw some of the college highlights of him getting lit up.
Hits,
Holy fuck, dude. He used to get lit up.
Bad.
So I think he's going to need to definitely put on some weight in the offseason. But right now, if he plays, I'm going to roll. If he plays, I'm rolling Jaden. I mean, even if he doesn't, Mariota look good enough. Give me the Commanders.
Can we throw like a stipulation where if he plays, I can take one and then I?
Yeah, I've done that.
I can't because then the line's gonna move. You know, if Jaden Daniels plays, this line's not gonna be the Commanders plus 2.5. It's just not. You know.
No, I agree.
It's probably more towards the even side, but
wait, where is it?
It's in Washington.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Mariota showed enough.
You know what? I'm gonna say that he probably plays this week. If he has bruised ribs, I think he still plays. The Bears fans are going to kill us. I'm going to take the points on the fact that if he does play, which I think he's going to, this line is more of probably an even than the Commanders getting 2.5. So I'll just risk it for the value with the Commanders getting 2.5. I think he's going to play. So
yeah, I'm just betting on the fact that he's not a pussy. You know, I mean, it just is what it is. I mean. I know the organization doesn't want to get anybody hurt.
I'm changing it. So I'm sorry, Bears fans. I'm going to take the over 43.5. I think the Bears offense has looked good the last couple weeks. They now have a system where they're using DeAndre Swift correctly. The offensive scheme looks a lot better. Commanders defense has looked good lately. But overall, I don't think that they're great. I think Commanders offense, if Jaden Daniels plays, can still be top tier. So I will go over 43.5, actually.
Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. Give me the Commanders.
Love it. We got 8 minutes left on this one. All right, next game we have the Carolina Panthers versus Denver Broncos. Wow. Broncos minus 9.5.
Oh, man.
Over under 41.5. I don't know if Andy Dalton's playing. That's one I'm not sure. I think he got in a car accident or something this week.
I don't really care. Yeah. I mean, I just don't. You know, I don't care who plays. You know, I don't care if who Denver rolls out there. You know what I mean? Denver could roll out Zach Wilson and they cover 9.5. So.
Man. They rolled out Zach. They maybe cover 20.5. Okay.
Yeah, no. Give me the. I'm sorry. I heard something weird in my headphones. Did you hear that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, but all right. Well, I'll reset here. Give me the Broncos minus 9.5. I don't think that there's a number. I don't think Vegas and these handicappers know what to do with these Panthers games anymore. It's kind of like the 2020 Jets. I remember when I took the Kansas City minus 21.5 against the Jets. They won 24-0. There's just not a line big enough against this team. So I know the Broncos aren't this unbelievable unit of players, but you know what? They'll cover 9.5. The fucking
I think this will be the game. I'm going to take a minus 9. I'm happy it's not 10 to where it's like now they got to win by 2 scores.
Yeah.
You know, this will be a game that Bo Nix actually looks decent in. And you know what? They beat the crap out of the Saints last week. He still had very questionable throws in that game.
No, he didn't look that great at all. I mean, he ran. That's what he does.
And that's what he does. So if something's there, I mean, he should have thrown a pick six that was dropped. He threw in between 2 wide receivers. Both of them were open for a touchdown and just split the middle and missed both of them. I think if there's a team that's going to make him look good, it's the It's the Carolina Panthers. So.
I mean, the Broncos defense might outscore the Broncos offense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, it's just like this team is just so
I
bad.
would love
mean,
the
Carolina
under
is just
42.
so bad.
I would love the under 42 in this game if I
can't.
weren't so afraid of the
The
Panthers
Broncos scoring 42.
The Broncos scoring 42.
I know you
points.
can't. Like, that's how bad the Panthers are. You got to take the 9. You got to lay the 9.5 here.
Yeah, no other choice. I know that sounds, but no. If a sharp is giving you a play and tells you to take Carolina plus 10, they just have no idea what they're doing. Like they don't. Like this is not a good spot for them. They've looked horrible the last multiple weeks.
Yeah.
There's just no betting for this team. The team is giving up. They've given up.
I wouldn't tease the Panthers up to 19.5.
No.
You know?
Shot. No
Like
shot.
it's just they're not good. They stink, and they're gonna lose bad every week. So,
Possible good Broncos teaser though in a 10-point. If you like them to say they're going to win the game,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
They're the Broncos, so that's always a risk.
That's definitely a risk. But I do think they should have no problem covering 9.5. So I guess if you're gonna take them in a tease, do it. I think there's better options, but they should beat the Panthers.
All right, our last 4 o'clock game, we got the Chiefs at the Raiders. Chiefs minus 9.5, over under 41.5. Chiefs newly acquired DeAndre Hopkins. So, what do you like here?
Yeah, I think Gardner Minshew gives the Chiefs a much better chance than Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell is also out too. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I would be all over. I'd be all over Kansas City if Aiden O'Connell was starting, but Gardner Minshew, I have enough confidence in Gardner Minshew. I mean, I don't think he's great, but I have enough confidence that he can keep this game close. But I don't know, man. Kansas City's on a roll. So I'm rolling with most of the favorites this week, except the Jags. So I mean, just give me KC. I don't think the Raiders are playing for too much here. I mean, Gardner Minshew's playing for a lot. He wants to, prove that he could still be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And
he will be for the next couple of weeks until O'Connell will be out for a while.
Yeah, so give me give me the 9. I mean the Niners. Give me KC minus 9.5.
I think this is kind of like the Broncos situation where you just have to take the Chiefs. It's not the prettiest of things. We know it's a lot of points. Here's another great 10-point tease spot. The Raiders shouldn't have covered 8 against the Rams, who were just trying to just hold off and win the game by the end of it. Kansas City could be winning this. They could be blowing them out at some point in this game. But, Patrick Mahomes hasn't looked great. I know the Raiders don't have any quit in them, but there's only so many times that you can just lose week in and week out and just have confidence in the team going forward. They don't know what's going on. I mean, their quarterback switches every week. Is Jacoby Myers playing this week or is he not? Who knows? Brock Bowers, great tight end. But you know what? The Chiefs defense has been good enough. And now that they have DeAndre Hopkins in here, I think they'll just probably run away with this thing. The only thing you have to worry about is maybe a backdoor.
Patrick Mahomes has looked the worst he's looked since he's gotten to the NFL, and
his work here.
Still think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, like, that's just how good they are.
I saw a meme today that said you got to feel for DeAndre Hopkins leaving the Tennessee Titans, going to a team whose quarterback leads the NFL in interceptions.
Oh, my God.
I can't catch a break.
Come on. I mean, I think D-Hop going to Kansas City is kind of like when Julio went to the Eagles. You know what I mean?
No, it's not that bad. Come on.
I mean, we'll see.
Come on.
We'll see.
Come on. Julio, that was... You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of where did T.O. go his last year? Maybe the Cowboys or something, or the Eagles. I forget where T.O. No, not the Eagles. Terrell Owens went somewhere like his last year. This is like Randy Moss going to Seattle. It's like
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice going to Seattle. Yeah, like that. This is kind of what it's like. But I still think DeAndre Hopkins has a lot to offer. It's better than what they have.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, I don't think he makes any impact outside of just like, I mean, he'll make some impact because Patrick Mahomes is there, but I don't think he makes the team any worse or any better. I think he's just there.
He's someone that's there that can run good routes and not drop the ball.
Yeah,
and to me, that's a positive. I think it said
so Odell Beckham on the Dolphins. I'm just kidding.
Maybe Odell on the Ravens.
I'm just kidding.
To the Sunday night game. This should be a good game. We have the Dallas Cowboys at the San Francisco 49ers. Dallas plus 4.5. Over under 45.5. no Brandon Ayuk out for the year. I doubt Deebo Samuel plays. Haven't seen anything official yet. And I don't know if Jennings is playing yet either. Game time decision. These injuries for the 49ers are
Dude,
just
Deebo
stacking
Samuel
up.
is like the most like
Important piece to a team.
No. I cannot even fathom the fact that he plays harder than any football player I watch. Like the guy runs so hard. He fucking slams into people. He just runs so hard, plays so hard. And then the guy's out like 9 weeks with turf toe.
I know.
It's like you can't make it up. It's like the guy is as soft as you could get when it comes to these baby injuries, but plays so hard.
Well, this
Like,
week,
it's so weird.
We have to give him a break. He had pneumonia. I mean, he went to the hospital. But that's something that needs to be released. And the 49ers have been driving me nuts with this concealing of injury stuff. They're doing it with McCaffrey. Now they're doing it with Deebo. At what point does the league come in and say, you have to disclose injuries a little bit better than what you're doing here?
Yeah, I know. It's very deceptive, when they do stuff like that. But with all that said, give me the Cowboys plus 4.5, baby. They're coming off a blow. They got blown the fuck out by Detroit. They went into the bye. I don't know how much they're going to figure out, to be honest with you. But I'm just banking on the fact that those injuries are going to cripple the Niners. And, Cowboys need to turn it around. Otherwise, their season's pretty much down the drain. So
I'm there with you.
Give me the Cowboys plus 4.5.
Not often we take a dog, but when we do, it's Dallas on the road. I think when the games that jump out to me this year has been Dallas on the road against Cleveland getting points, Dallas on the road against Pittsburgh getting points.
Yeah.
We took them, and they both covered.
I think Dallas was at home getting points.
No, against Pittsburgh, they were on the road. And Cleveland, they were on the road, too. But with all that being said, I mean, off a bye week, they're getting healthier. The 49ers, we just don't know. How can you take a team minus 4.5 who's missing its starting running back, who is missing their 3 starting wide receivers, who Kittle is banged up? How can you take a team with all backups at every single position? I don't know.
It's tough.
Again,
they are good, but...
we could come back here next week and we'll look so stupid. But you know what? Off a bye after getting embarrassed, this is like the spot. This is
$60 million man.
This is
Dak
the golden
goddamn
spot
Prescott
that you want. So, I mean... And you know what kills me too is everyone will come back to the comments and be like, "You guys are so dumb," and it's after the fact. Be like,
I saw a guy comment on our Lions Vikings pick, which I literally went on for 5 minutes how much I love the over, and he goes, "How'd this age for you?" with a bicep emoji and a lion.
And we both took the over. It was it was both of our best bets.
I'm like, it aged pretty well. It took the over, convincingly took the over.
Yeah, sorry, it hit in the beginning of the fourth.
Yeah,
wasn't easy enough for you. I don't know.
Just no response. Just I was like, wow, man, TikTok. These trolls are just insane.
Yeah, I can't. But listen, it's the nature of the beast, right? I mean, it's what we do this for. But I mean, here the concept is easy. The 49ers have a million injuries at all their special wide receiver, tight end, running back. Brock Purdy hasn't looked good without his starters, which no quarterback would. We're not saying that he's bad.
I love Brock.
We love Brock. But, off a bye week, Cowboys getting embarrassed, they have to figure it out, right? And if they're going to get over a field goal on the road, I'm going to take them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Niners won this football game. I'm not saying Dallas is going to go in there and beat the shit out of the Niners, but I like the spot. The team, a really good football team, off a bye, off a blowout loss, getting 4.5. It's too many points for a team that's injured.
All right, on to the last game of the week. The New York Football Giants at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are minus 6.5. Over under 36.5.
Yeah, I tried to do my best to steer clear of the Giants hate last week, and I took the over. And it was the 1 week I should have just stayed going against the Giants because they got blown out. Yeah. I'm right back on hating the Giants. Fucking Steelers roll them this week. I can't wait to hear from every Giants fan who's going to be all on me about this, but the Giants suck. You know, I mean, I know their defense played better and their team played better, but like the reason why everybody is so up on the Giants is because them at 2-5, 1-5.
2-5.
They're them at 2-5 is so much better than where people thought they were going to be. That's how excited their fans are. Like, you know, like, I mean, like we're everyone's like the Giants. Everyone thinks the Giants are bad. The Giants are pretty good, dude. Giants are pretty good. Well, the Giants are 2-5. You know, I mean, I know the Jets are too, and the Jets suck.
Yeah.
But like, I went against the Jets this week because they suck. So I mean, the Steelers are going to beat the shit out of them. I think Russell Wilson looked great. I think that the Steelers defense has looked great all year. I don't think that's going to change. So yeah, give me the Steelers in an easy -6.5.
I know this is another favorite, but it's just like you have to take the Steelers -6.5. Daniel Jones has never won a primetime game. They average 1 touchdown a week offensively. That's
is
what
this
they
game
average.
in MetLife?
No, and it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So you have a primetime spot, an offense that's struggling to score touchdowns. They looked great against Seattle, right? They looked great. Seattle's defense is terrible.
I might have liked it more at MetLife. I don't know if Danny Dimes has thrown a touchdown in 6 years.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Historically, he's been a better road quarterback than home. You know what? If you're getting me less than a touchdown, then I have to go with Pittsburgh. There's just no convincing stat out there that shows me the Giants are the right play here.
No.
I just don't know what it would be. Would it be his defeated on primetime? Would it be his touchdown interception ratio? It's just nothing about this says take the Giants here. I know their defense has been playing well, which is, the over-under is 36.5. Might just be like a little too low there, but I know Aaron Rodgers gave Pittsburgh a couple points last week, throwing the ball over in their own territory, but what's to say that Danny Dimes won't do that?
The only argument the Giants have at all is that the Jets suck too.
Oh yeah, they're both terrible.
They're both terrible. If that's your argument, I'm not fighting
They beat the Jets by 20.
I know.
So what makes you think they're not going to beat the Giants by 20?
No, I'm just saying, like, if that's your argument as a Giants fan coming after us, then hey, I'm right there. I'm on the same page.
Yeah,
the Jets have sucked. But if your argument is that you're ridiculous, this is going to be a really close game, then I don't know where you're coming from.
Listen, it was a close game against the Cincinnati Bengals, and they still lost by more than a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just...
That's the Giants' MO. Hang on to the fact that, hey, we hung in there.
Like, well, I'm not saying they're not going to score a touchdown this week, but I'd be shocked if they scored 2,
Yeah.
And that's just the way you have to look at their offense now is in the last 3 weeks, they've scored a combined 2 touchdowns. So it's like, at what point do you start saying, okay, the offense... I think they put in Drew Lock at the end of the game. You have Malik Neighbors in the locker room afterwards saying... Oh, well, check the tape. I was open. So no one's getting me the ball. It's like, all right, well, then now.
It took him all of about 6 weeks to become.
And this isn't like a bad thing on Danny Dimes. I know he hasn't been great, but the offensive line who is out? Thomas, their left tackles, is out. But
yeah.
What did he get sacked 5-6 times in the first half last week against the Eagles? What makes you think Steelers aren't going to get to him 5 times in the first half? Like
Danny Dimes would be lucky to get out without an injury.
He's going to be running for his life the entire game. So,
yeah, this is an easy pick. Steelers -6.5.
All right. Do you have a 3 favorite this week?
3 favorites? I'll let you kick it off because I don't, but I'll let you kick it off.
All right. My number 1 favorite, I consulted with Sugar Shane here on this one. We'll go with the Falcons -2.5. I know this might be a square pick, but without Godwin and without Mike Evans, I don't know what this offense can do. I know Otten's been good and Bucky Irving's good. This might be a come back to life moment for Tampa Bay, whose offense isn't that great, but it's a division game. Under a field goal, I have to go with the team who has more talent, and that would be the Atlanta Falcons for me.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to favorite bet of the week. I'm looking at a lot of these games now, and I don't know what I'm going to roll with for my best.
Well,
bet.
if you want, you could just do it. If you have a teaser or something, you could just throw a teaser.
No, you know what? We'll do my. You know what? I'll roll with Texans -5 at home over the Colts. I know
like
everybody
that one.
likes the Colts +5. They like that number. They getting more than the field goal, but Colts defense sucks. Anthony Richardson's not as good as Joe Flacco. The team's a mess. Jonathan Taylor's hurt, and Texans are just fucking really good. So
Yeah, sometimes doing like the simple-minded stuff.
yeah,
It just makes sense.
I
It
stop
makes too
looking
much
at
sense.
5 as being so important. Just look at the fact that the Colts are lost, and the Texans are one of the most put together teams in the NFL.
One of the things like I like to think about before giving the picks is like, what one would I be more shocked at? That Anthony Richardson comes out and looks awesome, and they cover the
Yeah, I'd
5,
be stunned.
or the Texans just are a really good team and they win by a touchdown.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's
The
like
Texans are
what
too
would be
good.
more surprising? So
Texans off a loss at home against a team that I just don't think is very good. So I like that as my best bet.
I'm going to go with the LA Chargers and Saints game under 40 and a half.
Man,
I
I
know,
like
this
it.
is ugly. This is ugly. But after watching both teams' offense last week, I realized that both of them just have no weapons. I mean, Justin Herbert was throwing the ball to Will Dissly the entire game. And Spencer Rattler, I mean, without Rashid Shaheed and Olave, I mean, Alvin Kamara had 6 catches last week for 13 yards. I mean, it's like they're both offenses are in shambles right now. So I expect another defensive struggle. Now, I could look stupid if Rattler comes in here and throws like 2 pick sixes, which could be a possibility, but I expect the Chargers to bounce back, and their defense is good enough to keep the ball rolling there. They held the Cardinals to 17 points, so
Yeah.
no reason they can't do the same to the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to go with I hate to do it to my boy, famous Jameis, but
Ooh,
Lamar looks like he's in his classic regular season form of just beating the shit out of people. So give me Ravens -8.5. Was it 8.5?
Hold on. 8.5 DraftKings, 9.5 FanDuel. So it is available 8.5.
All right, so I'll give Ravens -8.5 as my second best bet.
Wow. This third one is where it gets pretty tough here. I mean, I don't love a lot of the games this week, and it shows by we took a lot of favorites this week.
I'm taking all favorites. I was gonna go with the 3 10-pointers.
Oh yeah, no, definitely that would probably be like my
Yeah.
I don't I don't have a third favorite, so I'm just as my third I will do the 3-10, and I will probably do probably the same one you're thinking, Lions, which would be money line, Chiefs money line, and the last one I would probably do the Steelers +3.5 as the last one.
Yeah, when something looks that easy, I get terrified.
I know, me too,
But I like it.
it's
obviously.
I can't.
What's the line spread?
10.5?
Yeah, that's my third best bet. If the Lions keep that game within 10.5, I would be stunned. I'd be stunned if that game stays within 10.5 points. I mean, the Lions, I don't know if the 85 Bears could stop the Lions right now. I mean, the Lions are just fucking firing. They're just, I mean, if there's a trick play to be had, it's coming out first fucking drive. I mean, these guys are just holding
I'm going
nothing
to do
back.
that as my third best bet too. I'll do the Lions
Yeah.
with you. I just
They don't hold anything back, man. I mean, they're just
No, they
firing
don't.
like every game is like
what
a
I
must
love
win.
about them is they don't. This is as much as we get on Dan Campbell here. They don't care who they play. They're trying to destroy them.
I know, and I
They're
like
trying,
that.
They're trying to
I do like
embarrass
that.
them on national TV
Yeah.
and make it look like the other team shouldn't belong in the NFL.
I know, and I've been saying for a long time, like, when is Jared Goff just going to get some credit too? I mean,
unbelievable.
like the guy. I mean, halfway through this, I think we were in the third quarter. The guy didn't have an incompletion, and then the last week he didn't have an incompletion either. Like, it's like, at what point do we just stop saying, oh, well, the team around him's so good? Well, it's like, I don't know if any other quarterback's going in there and scoring 50 plus. Like, I mean, the Jared Goff gets a little too much hate in my opinion, but whatever.
I know. And the guy's been almost perfect every single game.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have to see another stat where he's 18 for 18 or 19 for 21, it's like the guy is just good.
Yeah, no, flat
I
out.
mean,
I think the Lions absolutely fucking dog walk the
And-
Titans.
Here's the thing with Tennessee, like I do think the trades come into effect of how mentally they approach these games now going forward. Is the players know that the organization is kind of moving on, looking into the future already. So, what part does that play in all this?
Calvin Ridley's upset. L'Jarius Sneed is upset. They're all disgruntled. Like, Nobody likes what's going on. Nobody has any clue. Do you think anybody's really that confident in Mason Rudolph? I mean, no. I mean, the team is
better than Will Levis, but still not good enough.
Yeah, nobody has any confidence that they're going to go out and win. They're going to show out. They're going to show up, walk out onto the football field, and even if they do decide to keep it close, the Lions are the kind of team that you flip a switch in fucking 7 minutes, they score 17 points. It's like, holy shit, how did that just happen?
I think their head coach, Dan Campbell, just gets them up for these types of games, man.
Yeah, they're going to win in a landslide. That's my third best bet.
All right. So those are our picks for the week that we liked. Did you have any extra ones? Did you want to give out a teaser or anything? The one that you liked or one?
I don't know. It's so hard. I mean, every week I think about it on Sunday and then always decide. But
yeah, because you want to wait for all the information.
I would have to put the Lions minus
a half.
I'd have to. I mean, I just don't. There's not a
That's how
universe.
I feel. It's the same thing with
lose.
the Chiefs. Like I feel like you just have to put the Chiefs in there too. It's like
there's not a universe in which they lose. The Chiefs scares me a little bit more.
The Chiefs in their head still have that memory of the Raiders driving around in their buses around Arrowhead Stadium like 3 years ago after they beat the Chiefs. I think they want to do the same thing.
I would do Broncos over the Panthers. I would do Lions over the Titans. So Lions minus a half, Broncos money line, or Broncos minus a half. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
And Cowboys plus 14.5.
Money line or minus a half in the 10-point.
It's 4.5 points Cowboys are getting, right?
Yeah. So it'd be
14 give me 14.5 with the Cowboys in prime time versus a very, very hurt Niners team.
All right, beautiful. We got that'll wrap it up for our picks this week. We got a few extra things to talk about, and you know what? One, I wanted to look at the ranking NFL quarterbacks so far ahead of Week 8. I wanted to get Dylan's thought process on where he thinks all these people are, and you know what?
Oh wow!
This is ranked by QBR, so not much changed from kind of where you thought, but there's still some surprises in there a little bit, I would say. So number one, we got Josh Allen.
Oh, you're gonna tell me?
I'm gonna tell you, and then tell me if you're surprised by any of this.
Oh, okay.
I'll do top 15. Top 15, and I'll go quick, names in order. So Josh Allen 1, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, Joe Flacco, Kyler Murray, Derek Carr, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Geno Smith, Brock Purdy, Stroud, Cousins, Love, then Goff. Are you shocked by I mean,
I'm not shocked.
You
I mean,
can take out Flacco if you want. You could take out Flacco and Derek Carr. They've both been out for 2+ games now.
I'm not shocked, but it's fake. I'm not shocked, but I like Trevor Lawrence, but
Dak Prescott all the way down at 24th.
Yeah,
but this is what you get with QBR, and it's early.
Yeah, so exactly. I mean, QBR. I mean, still right now, if you ask me, who would you rather on your team, Dak or Jalen? I take Dak. I mean, my opinion hasn't changed on that. I mean,
then Jaden or Jalen?
Jalen.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying my initial arguments, my big time arguments. Yes. I still think Baker's better than Jalen. You know what I mean? I still think I still think of Jalen where I thought of him prior. I mean, Jordan Love is the same kind of player that I thought he was. I never said he was horrible.
You were right.
I mean, I did say he was horrible, but
you know what? You were right in your initial thing. Is all right. So right now, Jordan Love is ranked 15th.
Yeah.
And what'd you say at the beginning of the year?
He'd be fighting tooth and nail for the 15th spot.
He'd be closer to 15 than he is 10. Was your original argument. So not like you were calling him terrible. You just said he's closer to 15 than top 10.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Which right now he's at 15. Listen, if you want to take away,
QBR. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. These quarterbacks are. It's such a hard thing to gauge because there's so many factors that come into it.
Right now, one bad game really just tanks you out. I mean, we're only through
right now. I didn't even hear you say Sam Darnold's name. The guy's playing out of his fucking mind.
He's 19th.
The guy's playing out of his mind.
But the last 2 weeks he's been, shaky. Is he coming back down to earth?
No, I think he's really good, and I think the team is going to continue to play really well. So,
Justin Herbert to me being 22nd, he's not the 22nd best quarterback.
No.
He's just dealing with the team that he has,
Joe Burrow's played fantastic, but he has no wins to back it.
Rodgers, 25th. That one is shocking to me.
Yeah, but
he hasn't looked good at all.
No,
not in any way, shape, or form. There's no Like Rodgers is down there. Listen to this. So Dak is 24th. You know what? Like, I'm not going to say it's not his fault. I'm not going to be a Dak defender, though. But obviously, they had a bye week, so they've played one less game. But Rodgers, Daniel Jones, Caleb Williams, Mason Rudolph, Aiden O'Connell, Anthony Richardson. Like, that's the company that Rodgers is in.
Yeah, that shocks me. That shocks me. I mean, I wouldn't have
shocking.
thought I wouldn't have thought that's where he was. I mean, I definitely had him in a high regard coming into the season, and I thought he was going to play better, and he hasn't. So
Yeah.
you're never going to be perfect on these lists, you know what I mean? But I think my major points were that some of the more underrated guys were Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, and they've played pretty well. And a lot of the overrated guys were Jalen Hurts, who's played pretty bad, and fucking
Yeah.
and Jordan Love.
His rushing yards just helped him so much, Hurts in QBR. I mean, he's 9th, and it's probably mainly because of rushing.
And Jordan Love is overrated as well. I mean, he had the most MVP tickets coming into the season. Like, he's not an MVP, you know? I mean, so it's just, like I said, he's played okay, but, you know, all of his big games, look at his stat lines, too. I mean, a lot of his big games come along with 3 interceptions. And, you know, like a lot of his. So
he's Brett Favre 2.0.
Yeah. Hey, listen, power to him. He's getting paid $55 million a year, and him and Trevor Lawrence together are the same quarterback to me. So
Jets quarterback in 2035.
Oh God.
All right, we'll go into the World Series.